Hello everyone, it's DiegoDoom here, and today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing Max Gokin Godannar Twin Drive Mode. Godannar Twin Drive Mode comes from the 2003 show Godannar. Twin Drive Mode is the sole combination of the robots Dannar and Neo Okuseir. With the combined force of Godannar and Okuseir, the pilots battle against alien invaders as they seek a cure for a virus that has infected humanity. So, if y'all have not done so already, definitely check out the show Godannar. It's a pretty cool show. I did not particularly care for it. I just really enjoyed the robotic design. So when you get a chance, definitely check out the show. It's pretty cool. But nonetheless, Max Gokin Godannar Twin Drive Mode is another fantastic release in the Max Gokin line. Godannar has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, fantastic articulation, and a fantastic amount of diecast content. This figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. So first, let's take a look at Godannar's accessories. Godannar comes with a pair of open hands, a pair of chopping hands, a pair of gripping hands, a pair of cupping hands, one individual Cellblader sword holding hand, one Cellblader sword, one triple drive attack flame headpiece, and one stand. So first, let's take a look at the triple drive attack flame headpiece. So this piece is very nicely done here. It's definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. This is made of a hard, translucent plastic here, so this is pretty cool. Very sturdy and very thick, so you don't have to worry about this breaking, so it's far from brittle. But this is very nicely done. A very great natural-looking flame explosion going on here, so this is pretty cool. Now this is the extension piece, and then this is the actual base to it, so both pieces are very nicely done. Now to compare this with the standard red flame, both pieces are absolutely fantastic. These are definitely very cool. Very nicely done here. So, to equip the blue flame piece, what we're going to have to do is a little bit of assembly, and that's kind of common with this figure. There's a lot of assembly required when you're dealing with the accessories. So, to start, we're going to go ahead and separate this piece. And what we're going to try and pull from this is this clear connector piece here, which is stuck inside of here now. So, we'll go ahead and push that out. Now, one thing to mention, this piece is very small and very clear, so, if you drop this on the floor, this will disappear, so do handle this with care and try to keep up with it. So, how we're going to connect everything together, we're going to grab the extension piece here, which is the longer flame. We're going to put the longer piece of the connector in here. Just going to push it in like so. Pretty easy there. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the base and then push that through the hole there. So first, you want to make sure your base is oriented properly. So as you can see, you have a nice curve here with the two pegs pointing out. So just like so. And we'll just kind of force that in as best we can. So let's get that in there. Now on my piece, this is probably my second time using this piece, so the hole's pretty tight. So let's see, get that in there. Very nicely done. Pretty cool connect. Definitely cool. So we'll grab Godannar over here. And we have his head here, and there's a hole and two slots for this. So we're going to go ahead and line everything up and push it on in. Now this can be a little bit difficult at times, so if I don't get this on the first try, just kind of bear with me here, because this does get a little bit tough. So let's see if we can show that on camera, and we'll get a little bit of focus or get further out. There we go. So we'll try this and see if I can get this on the first try. And just pushing this in as best we can. Whoops. Almost had it. So one thing to note, sometimes it won't connect if you don't have that extension piece out there far enough, or the connector piece. So there we go. It may or may not stay, but it's a firm connection. You just have to do it correctly, which I'm not doing right now. But still, this looks very cool here. So now we have Godannar, and he's ready to perform his triple drive attack. So definitely a very cool flame piece. Absolutely fantastic. So now, let's take a look at the hands. The first pair of hands that Godannar comes with are his open hands here. Now these hands are all very nicely done here. You have the very nice large rivets here. Definitely very cool. A great sculpt. Now this is done in a very shiny metallic crimson red, and then the fingertips and so on and so forth are done in a metallic navy blue. So this is very cool here. Very deep colors and very vibrant. So absolutely fantastic. A great sculpt going on here. The next pair of hands that Godannar comes with are his chopping hands. Very nicely done. Great for martial arts poses. A great sculpt here. Very cool. The next pair of hands that Godannar comes with are his gripping hands. So these are some very nice aggressive hands here. Definitely very cool here. So this is very nicely done. I really like every piece of this figure. It's absolutely fantastic here. Great sculpt going. So the final pair of hands that Godannar comes with are his cupping hands here. So a nice great cup. This may not have been necessary to have these type of hands, but still this goes very well with the chopping hands here. So very great for martial arts poses. So definitely very cool. So how these hands attach, we'll grab Godannar over here. This is via a peg system, as you can see, and it's on the hand. So we'll grab Godannar here, and we're going to remove this hand here. Now, when we remove the hands, this ring piece comes out along with them, so kind of keep up with that. And all we're going to do, we're going to grab that hand there. We have our ring piece here, and we're going to peg that in this way. So remember, the hollowed out part should be pointing outward for the hand, so we're going to put that in there. And then just slide that into Godannar's arm, and it's a very nice fit there. So, definitely cool and a great range of movement. So, it's absolutely fantastic there. So, definitely very cool. So, the next accessory that Godannar comes with is, we're going to first take a look at the, we'll just say let's go ahead and take a look at the cell blader holding hand. So, this is pretty cool here. Now, this hand is permanently affixed to this hilt or handle to the sword here. So, it's pretty cool. Now, this hand is not going anywhere, so it's very sturdy here. And this is meant to hold the cell blader sword, which honestly I believe is the best part of this set, and I'll go over that in just a second, but still a great sculpt here. Now this is incomplete. This is where assembly does come into play, and it does mention putting some screws into this sword, but you do not have to do that, only if you're afraid of moving this figure a lot and the sword would come apart, but still, it's not absolutely necessary to put screws into this, but also too, the screws are included in this set, so that's pretty cool there, but this is very nice and pretty cool and okay, but what we're here for is to see the cell blader sword. So let's go ahead and grab that without further ado. So as you can see, this is the cell blader sword here, but that's not the thing. This sword is actually 18 inches long, so we're going to start from the base here and all the way, and it keeps going. And here we go. This is a very fantastic sword and one of the coolest accessories, period. An 18-inch blade. Absolutely fantastic. Now, this is plastic. I do wish this was metal. That would be pretty cool, but this would probably be something like a carving knife or maybe a mini machete or something like that, but this is an absolutely fantastic sword. Now at the base here, this is absolutely anime accurate here, so definitely cool here because I know this piece spins in the anime, so a very nice sword and definitely very cool. And I kind of pinged the light there. It's how long the sword is because my lights are pretty tall. So this is an absolutely fantastic accessory here. 18-inch sword. Definitely very cool. Now, with the assembly required, we'll just go ahead and disassemble the sword. It's pretty simple here. We're just going to pop the back off first, I guess. So let's see if we can get that off because it might be a little bit hard because everything kind of pegs into itself. So once you pull one piece, this sword pretty much comes completely apart. So we're just going to disassemble this. Pretty easy there, no big deal. It's just like this. So just give me one moment and we're going to go ahead and reassemble the sword so Godannar can hold the cell blader sword, and also we'll take a look at the very nice stand. Before we take a look at Godannar holding his cell blader sword, first let's take a look at the stand. This stand is absolutely fantastic and definitely very cool here. My only complaint about the stand is I really wish there was a customized nameplate that had Godannar's name attached to it, just like with our soooo Chogokin figures. But still, this is a very cool stand nonetheless. As you can see, this is done in a very nice black glossy finish. You'll also notice there are 8 supporting peg holes for Godannar's hands. In the back here, there's a supporting slot and base neck piece to support the cell blader sword, so this is definitely very cool here. Now also one thing to mention too, the supporting neck to hold Godannar is actually articulated too. Now as I mentioned before, this piece does require some assembly, so to actually reveal the articulation in this neck here, we actually need an Allen wrench, which is included in this set, so it's pretty cool there. And all we're going to do is loosen up the joints here at 2 individual spots we have here and down at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and just loosen those up just a little bit so you can see what we're talking about here. So we'll loosen that up so you can get a pretty good bend here at the top. Well, that's a little bit too much, so we'll Try and tighten that up just a little bit. Pretty cool there. And then down at the bottom here, we'll just loosen that up too. Just a tiny bit so you can get the range of movement. So let's see if we can loosen that up. A little tough, but still, you get the gist. This is actually articulated, so that means that you can actually set this base up, or excuse me, the neck up, so now you can simulate Godannar doing his finishing jumping kick. So it's definitely very cool. So now we have the stand out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at the main attraction for the set and look at Godannar holding his Cellblader sword. So now we have the main attraction and the primary reason to pick up this set, and it's Godannar holding his Cellblader sword. This is absolutely stunning. This is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. Now remember, this sword is 18 inches, so it is absolutely massive. Pretty much we have a carving knife or maybe a small machete on our hands here, so definitely very cool. Now I do wish this sword was actually metal. That would make it, even better, but it's understandable. Even for adult collectors, that would be extremely dangerous, but I am more than satisfied with what we have here, so this is absolutely fantastic. Now, I must note, my Godannar figure does suffer from some loose upper torso joints, so this sword does weigh his upper body down some, but if you get this figure, for the most part, I'm confident that your upper torso joints will be tight, so it's nothing to really worry about, but still, this is absolutely fantastic and probably one of the greatest accessories ever, so definitely very cool. So, now we have the accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the Godannar figure itself. So now let's take a look at the Godannar figure itself. Godannar has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic articulation, and a fantastic amount of diecast content. So first, let's begin with the articulation in the head. So, Godannar's head is on a type of ball joint here, so he can look left, he can look right, he can look up just a little bit and look down quite a bit, so it's very nicely done there. In the shoulders, you have a forward and back movement, and you have a full 360 rotation. So it's very cool there. Now the arms could come out about 45 degrees, so not that much, but still it's okay. In the bicep here, there is no movement. Now in the elbow here, you have a very nice, almost but not quite double joint here. So we have a bend here and a bend there. Very nicely done there. The hands are on a peg system, so they rotate freely and move in and out just a little bit. So pretty cool there. Also to note, this bar here actually spins around, so it's definitely cool. Now this is meant for Godannar's signature attack, the Heartbreaker. As you can tell, Godannar's forearms are revolver barrels, so definitely cool there. Now, in the upper chest here, Godannar can move up and down just a little bit. And the same goes for the lower torso too. So you can move up and down, have a very decent ab crunch going on there. So pretty cool. Also, the upper chest can tilt just a little bit side to side. Pretty cool there. And you have a nice twist there. So very nicely done. One thing to also note, if you extend the upper body too much, you'll have this gap here. You can actually tilt these rivets down. So pretty cool there. In the legs, you have a very nice range of motion here. You can move forward and back quite a bit, and out to the sides a lot. So definitely cool there. Now, one thing to mention though, when you're moving the legs out, do be careful. You don't want to rub or chip any paint here on this waist piece here like I have. You can see the white has rubbed off on the crimson red there. So do be careful of that. Also, the legs can actually rotate here at the upper thigh. Then the knees here, they can actually rotate too, but also we have a very nice double jointed knee. So we'll bend that in. Definitely cool there. Now, something also to mention, you also run a chance of chipping paint here, so do be leery of that. So do that double jointed knee with care, but still very cool. Then in the feet here, the feet cannot really rotate because they rotate with the upper knee here, but still very nice wide feet to plant firmly here, and these actually are articulated quite a bit, so very nicely done. This figure is absolutely fantastic. Now, as far as the sculpt and paint applications, this is absolutely spot on and definitely show accurate here. Very great sculpt going on here. Now, I do wish we had some panel lining going on here, but still, we can just let it slide. It's an absolutely fantastic piece here and a very interesting design here. Definitely very cool figure here. The sculpt is simply amazing, and I really enjoy the details in the chest here. As you can see, this is a plastic piece with just several details etched inside here, so definitely very cool. A nice face here. Now, his eyes are green just under the right light. You can see kind of in there because I guess this headpiece kind of casts a deep shadow, so he kind of seems soulless or something like that, but still a very cool figure. A great sculpt through and through again with a lot of great articulation. Now this figure seems to be even more articulated than the soooo Chogokin GX45 type build, so definitely very cool. So Max Factory has done a very nice job with their Max Gokin line. So definitely very cool here. Absolutely fantastic and definitely spot on. A very great piece. Now in terms of diecast content here, I'm pretty sure it's the entire leg assembly here, and then the arms and some of the center chest here. It's a very hefty piece. Some parts feel plastic when the most part they are not. So a very hefty piece, a very nice weight to it, very great balance, so definitely cool here. So, now that we have the Godannar figure out of the way, let's go ahead and conclude this review. To conclude the review, Max Factory Max Gokin Godannar Twin Drive Mode is another fantastic release in the Max Gokin line. Godannar has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, fantastic articulation, and a fantastic amount of diecast content. This figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. Now, one thing I must warn about this figure is going for absolutely absurd secondary prices on eBay, and by absurd I mean over $400. Now, when this figure was initially released, it was not released in limited quantities, so I'm not exactly sure why the secondary price has skyrocketed like it has. So, my best advice is, if you are a true fan of the show Godannar, love the design of the Godannar robot, in love with the idea of having a Chogokin of Godannar, and you can afford it, hover over eBay and wait for the best possible price under $400 and definitely pick this figure up. It is absolutely fantastic and definitely very cool. And one thing to also note, and is the big showstopper for this piece, is the 18-inch Cell Blader sword. It is absolutely fantastic and definitely very cool. Also, if you get a chance, definitely check out the show Godannar. It's definitely a pretty good show. This has been another review by DiegoDoom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe.